Alright, so this is what we look like under the sink. So I'm either going to put the unit on this side if I can fit it, or if it's not, then on that side. I'm going to go ahead and see if it does fit in this little corner here. And look at that, it actually fits in there perfectly, and the door closes. So it actually turned out good for me because I can still have all the space for other things. Alright guys, so we're looking at the manual here, and these are all the parts that we should have, that we've seen. So here it kind of shows us what goes where, and we have a little diagram, kind of see the overall way that this thing goes together. So here we have some tips. Apparently they have the hoses marked, and you got to make sure the mark goes all the way in. So what they're saying is make sure you go all the way in the coupler, because if you don't, you might have trouble and leakages. And also if your tubing is way too long, you can cut it. I'm going to try not to cut mine, but just coil it if it's too long. So I guess you do have a choice if you wanted to. Alright, so here we have step 1, which is installing the main water adapter, and that's this guy here. And so what this thing is just a T that goes into your existing system, the water flowing to where it was, and then also uses it for itself. And so under the sink you should have 2 hoses, a hot one and a cold one. And what you're going to do is you're going to shut off the cold one, figure out which one is which, and then we're going to undo this hose here and then put this adapter on, and on the other end of the adapter the hose back on that. Alright, so the adapter is installed, and it's not very hard, as you guys can see. The original hose is on the very top, and the adapter is connected straight to that line there. And then we have the output that goes out, kind of coils around, and the end of it will go right in the middle right here. So I'm just going to kind of coil my hoses up there. And so they have a mark here on the hose, and you want to make sure that the hose goes all the way down past the mark. So kind of massage it in there, push it in. So it looks like it went all the way down. And out of our clips here, we're going to grab the bigger one, and we're going to try to install it underneath the coupler there. So just like that. Now hopefully you can see that, but that's how it goes right there. And what that does is it locks it in where it doesn't pull out. Alright, so for step 2, they want us to install the faucet. So the faucet has a little gasket here, and hopefully it fits right over this hole. It's going to go something like this, and then we got the rest of the hardware that we need to install it. Now, we can go ahead and start the nut, and the reason for that is because this washer here has got an open end, so you can go in underneath and then clamp in from underneath the sink. So we can go ahead and put these accessories on here. And here we have a quick connect fitting, and that's also going to go on the end of the input side here on the faucet. So we're just going to clamp it on there just like that. Now here we also want to use these little clips. Everything that has a quick connect like this needs a clip just like that, so it guarantees that it's not going to just pop out. Because now it can't come out. It can kind of move around, but it can't come out. So later when we plug our hose in, or we can actually plug the hose now in and then feed it down. But either way, we're also going to put a clip in here. So we're going to just set this in the sink, and then under the sink we're going to put this in there, and then we're going to clamp it. And actually guys, I'm going to go ahead and do it right now. So you want to push it in until this black line here is all the way in. And then we're going to take our little clip, and we're going to install that, and now this is nice and tight. So now we can feed the other end into the hole, and our faucet will go in just like that. So now we're going to need to go underneath the sink with this washer. It's really, guys, hard for me to show you, but this washer we're going to put in there and then clamp it down. And just like that, you guys can see I got it nice and tight, and the washer's in there. And this is what it looks like on the other side. So it's nice and sturdy, and we should be able to use this. Okay, so it goes up and down like this. So now we can install this other piece, which is the actual faucet, and it looks like it just clips in. Has some rubber gaskets there, so let's massage it in there, and just like that we have our faucet. And this can swivel back and forth, which is nice, because if you want to fill something up on the side, you can do that. So alright, so same thing here for the faucet. We're going to go to the one that says F, not the W, but the F for faucet, and same way we're just going to plug it in and go all the way down to the line, and then we're going to raise it just a little so we can get our clip under there. Or technically you don't really have to raise it. It's going to pull up on the coupling just a little bit, and it'll fit the clip in. So let's grab a clip, squeeze it in there, and just like that we are good. And I coiled up all my hoses up there so they're not going to be in the way. And the reason I'm doing that instead of cutting them, you could cut them if you want. I'd recommend not cutting it, because just in case you want to move this later or whatnot else, you always have longer hoses. Alright, so we're making really good progress. We got one more thing to install, and that is step 3, the drain hose, or saddle, whatever they call it. So it's this apparatus thing, and what this does is it's going to go around our waste tube, and you will have to drill a hole. So on mine here, because I have this, I can go either here or a little lower, I do have already another drain here. These are for actually the dishwashers, but technically doesn't really matter. But you will need a 1/4-inch drill bit for this project. So unfortunately they didn't give you any way to drill a hole yourself, but it would have been nice if they included something, because you know, normally you're just drilling out some plastic, which is quite simple. So I think I'm going to go ahead and mount mine up here somewhere. So I'm going to drill the hole. I'm going to try to point it more where it's heading towards the back there. So I'm going to kind of do that from there. Alright, so I got my hole right here. So we're going to take this bracket apart, and we're going to take this red hose and stick one end. I do have to take this clip out first. There's a clip already in here. We're just going to stick it in there, and we want it to come out just a little bit, about this much. So there is a pad right around here, and that'll keep anything from leaking anywhere. And I went ahead and put my clip back on. And so the tip of our red hose is simply just going to go into the hole that we drilled, just like that. And then the back side of the bracket will just connect right there. Basically like this, so we're just going to clamp it down right here. Alright, and this is what it looks like once it's all clamped. So it's nice and tight in there. And so our waste will drain into our main drain. And so the other end of the red hose, we're going to do exactly the same thing we did earlier. Just plug it right in. Make sure it goes deep enough, so push all the way down. The black line should disappear. And then we're going to put another clip in there. Just like that. And we are done. So as you can see, guys, that was not very hard at all to install. This is what I really like about the system, is that it's quite straightforward and not confusing at all. And you're really dealing with just 3 hoses. So here we have the power cord, and it looks like it's about 4 feet or so. Alright, so the last thing to do is we need to open the main water and check, make sure we don't have any kind of leaks anywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that. Alright, so far it's looking good. Appears to be nothing leaking anywhere. So let's go ahead and connect our power. Okay, looks like we got some lights here. Go ahead and start running actually. I guess it's going through the filters and building pressure. Alright, so it stopped running. Yeah, it looks like everything's okay and we don't have any leaks. So let's go to our faucet and try it out, see if it works. A lot of air came out. Okay, oh yeah, that was pretty dirty. I guess that's the filters. Probably had some contamination in them. But I think it's a good idea to run this thing for a little bit to clean it out. So when you do run the faucet, it runs the pump inside and creates the pressure, because it does need quite a bit of pressure to go through the filtration. And this is why you need the power, so it can build pressure to filter it correctly. So here's a little guide that tells you what everything means on the display. So blue light means everything is normal, purple light means that we're starting to get close to needing replacement, and red, replace now. So that's their indicators for the filters. So here it kind of shows you a little diagram of what that looks like. And it will make a beep 2 times when it's replaced soon, and it'll keep beeping when it needs to be replaced immediately. So in here it kind of tells us how to replace the filters and then how to reset the filter life by holding this button right here. Alright, so everything else is, you know, some more information and pretty straightforward, I would say. So we've been running the water for a little bit here, and I think I want to go ahead and keep running it for a little bit more. We're going to go under here, we're going to check again, make sure we don't have any kind of leaks anywhere, and it all looks good. So yeah guys, overall big thumbs up for this Waterdrop G2. I think it's worth it. For the price that it's going for, it's definitely offering a lot more convenience and ease of installation compared to a traditional reverse osmosis system. So if you've been wanting to get a water filter, this is an excellent option.